British University is introducing a degree in magic and occult sciences. If you're going to be talking about magic and the occult, you're not talking about the natural world. Science is supposed to be studying the universe and what we can observe and test and see. When you get into witchcraft, you're talking about supernatural or super above nature, supernatural things. And so science can't really test it. Now we can observe its effects, but in general, this is a contradiction, magic and occult sciences. Now that's the secular point of view. It's really falling out of favor. If this had come about like 20 years ago when I was in college, no, not 20 years ago, I'm not that old, but if this came about when I was in college, like 2010, 2012 era, you would have had people like Christopher Hitchens, Richard Dawkins, all these people coming out against it. We went through maybe about a 100-year period of just straight intellectualism, where we wanted to study everything, dissect everything. This is a word you don't hear very often anymore, the word superstition. When's the last time you heard anyone complain about someone doing something superstitious? And yet we have all of these occult practices that people are doing right now that are fads. And whereas the intellectuals used to call it superstitious, they're now, kind of actually coming into agreement with it. And so here is a college, a British university, Exeter, I actually don't know how to pronounce it, University of Exeter, but they have an entire postgraduate degree on this. So I had to look it up. So this British University offers master's degree in magic and the occult. If you've been getting into crystals, manifesting your dream board, or exploring feminist readings of witchcraft, you can now take your hobby to the next level with the UK's first postgraduate degree in magic and the occult. So here we are. We got Hogwarts going on in the UK now, but people are serious about this. My wife and I joke about this all the time. Back whenever Harry Potter first came out, we all thought it was really fun and whimsical, and it was just something to enjoy and think about, like a traditional fairy tale. We didn't take it serious, but nowadays people are taking witchcraft so seriously. They are literally doing rituals in their homes. I don't know if you know this, but 62% of Americans have New Age belief systems. Now that means that they are ascribing power to things in the natural. So whether that's healing crystals or tarot cards, or they believe in psychics, whatever it may be, the majority of Americans believe in some sort of New Age paradigm. Now you're not gonna like this, but you can include the Enneagram in that. Now the Enneagram is something my wife and I actually used to do. We have since stopped doing. If you look at the history of it, you'll know why. Okay, the woman that is teaching it is named Emily Solove, who leads the course, said, "A recent surge in interest in magic and the occult, inside and outside academia, lies at the heart of the most urgent questions of our society. Decolonization, the exploration of alternative epistemologies, feminism, and anti-racism are at the core of this program." Someone tell me the connection between decolonization or feminism and anti-racism with witchcraft. Like, why is this such a fad that is being housed in a political spectrum? You're talking about paganism. We're talking about ancient paganism. When it was going on, they didn't care about feminism. Like, what is with this weird marriage going on currently between politics and witchcraft? It's crazy. She said this reversed a tendency in recent decades to dismiss the study of magic and the occult with the idea that it is no longer of importance to modern people. It's sad because she's right. Like, it is becoming more and more important to modern people. So let's just see who this woman is. So, I'm not trying to put her on blast or anything, but I did read her little bio at the bottom. She talks about this handbook. So she studies Arabic spells, magic, ritual, witchcraft. It's an article that she wrote about that. It says here at the bottom, "This multicultural, multilingual guide to cursing, healing, and harnessing the power of stars, angels, jinn, and devils." Now, you may not know what a jinn is. That is, in Islam, they are kind of like demons, but not exactly like demons, depending on which Muslim you talk to. But imagine it's like a demonic entity. Was conceived at the crossroads of many magical and religious traditions and serves as the intersection at which multiple scholarly methodologies and disciplines can intersect today. So she's talking about harnessing the power of stars. Look, so yeah, you have like the Dyson sphere, it's theoretical. You cannot harness the power of a star like in your own being. It's quit worshiping created things, and you're trying to control angels, jinns, and devils. Now, just package all that into demons, because no angel is going to be controlled, biblically speaking, is going to be controlled by a human being. These are ministers and servants of God, right? So when people do these New Age practices and they're like, yeah, I'm going to, do angel numbers or whatever, do tarot card readings or whatever, they're always interacting with demons, like 100% of the time, even if they don't think so. When they're talking about bad energy and good energy, they're really just talking about the bad energy is evil spirits. And the crazy thing is people will do witchcraft to try to get rid of the evil spirits. And I got a video I'm going to do about that later. You just basically invite the demonic into your life whenever you give over into the occult. When you start pursuing New Age, you're going to, what I find among most witches is physical illness, like tons of physical illness, anxiety and depression, like lots of mental illness. And the witchcraft itself is inviting the demonic into their life, which is creating the mental, physical illnesses, and then they do more witchcraft to try to get rid of it, but it only perpetuates it. Now, there is something very sneaky that demons do, which is sometimes they will leave in order for you to be more invested in your idolism, your idolatry, to start to keep worshiping these physical, inanimate objects like crystals to heal you instead of reaching out to Jesus Christ, who is actually our healer. And so they are sneaky, they are tactical, but in the end is destruction. That's all that waits the end of a person that goes down a path of the occult, of witchcraft. And then here we are institutionalizing it. Okay, let's look at one other thing up here. So this is a project. This was actually funded. There was grant money put into this. Is a research partner, Dr. Luca Patrizzi. It says, A Sorcerer's Handbook, Medieval Arabic Magic in Context. This project focuses on a collection of magical texts attributed to an influential medieval scholar of the Arabic language. So this is also researching the occult and magic, and this is government dollars in the UK. So I cannot help but think about C.S. Lewis's space trilogy and the third one that he made, That Hideous Strength, which is about English professors who have researched and scienced themselves somehow into the occult, and they want to reanimate this dead face. And so it comes to life through what they believe is science, but it's literally through occult practices. And they're talking to this dead face, which is actually animated by a demon. So they're being fooled by the demonic. And so it's sad and also hilarious that C.S. Lewis predicted this stuff would be going on. I mean, he wrote that book probably in the 50s. And so here we are 70 years later, if I can math correctly, 50, 60, 70-ish years later. And now you have the academia of the UK delving into the occult, which is the exact thing that he predicted they would end up doing. We all need to read that book again. Be on alert, because this stuff is going on behind the scenes. Scientists are giving way to naturalism. They don't want it anymore, and they're actually pursuing the spiritual realm and the occult. This is actually, in one way, this is a good thing for Christians because they are now open to talk about the spiritual realm. But in another way, it's bad because they are openly and brazenly inviting the demonic into academic circles, which is going to destroy science. It is going to destroy correct methodologies in doing scientific research. It's going to actually, we're going to lose knowledge. We're going to lose knowledge. Generations from now, we're going to lose knowledge and become stupid following demons and demonic doctrines, which is going to just end up in terrible things like genocide. We've seen how scientists can use knowledge for poor purposes. You're going to start seeing that again, unfortunately, as they're influenced by these demonic doctrines that they are pursuing in ancient texts. It's just crazy.